You're watching Fine and Dandy. Cheers.
Hi, my name's Cameron, and you need to check out the Fine and Dandy podcast.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy.
Watch the Fine and Dandy podcast. Good shit.
Hey, what's up? We're Soe, and you're watching Fine and Dandy.
Hey everyone, it's your boy Blacasso, and you're tuning in with Fine and Dandy.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy!
Welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast where we scat all the time.
Scatters.
We're scatters, bro.
Is that what they call it?
Is that a thing? Or
Scatters.
we're scataceous.
Dude, honestly, dude, I think being a professional scatter, I honestly don't know if that's what it's called, would be actually pretty fucking.
Hold up. What is a professional scatter called?
While he's figuring that out, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning back in. This is actually the first time I think Josh and I, proper grammar right there. Fucking
There you go.
zinger right there.
Me and Josh and I.
I was going to say me and Josh, but, you know, for all those people who want to be particular, maybe. But, yeah, it's the first time we've done one together in a while. Like, just us two, you know. Usually, now we have Cole, who usually, like, joins in. You know, we've had a lot of guests recently, too. It feels kind of good to just be just the two of us. I don't know the rest of the song, again, but
Yeah, I typed in scatter and it's like scattered plots came up, and I was like, that's not it.
yeah, but it was cool to be a professional.
A person who scats, and it says originating in vocal jazz, a scat singing. I think a scat performer. Who's the most famous scat singer? Louis Armstrong. Is that
Fuck
right?
yeah, dude. I didn't know he was a scatter like that. I didn't know he
was known for his scatting.
I didn't know he did the scat like that, dude. Getting in scatting out there. Dude. You know, like scatting is like, to me, you know, musically, like when someone just riffs to your raff or raff to your riff, you know? What it feels like. They're just, you know, they're really just feeling it, and they just go,
Did Louis Armstrong create scatting? It says, who invented scatting? The origin of scat are hard to pinpoint, but Louis Armstrong liked to tell the story of how he invented it by accident when his sheet music fell off the stand during a 1924 recording session.
That's fucking hilarious.
Leaving him to make up off-the-cuff vocals.
Dude just started rhyming shit, or not even rhyming, just started hitting random, like, fucking rhythms with his mouth, and people are like, oh, shit, dude, the beatboxer.
It's kind of weird because I think, like, whenever people look at, like, singers, it's hard to, like, at least for me, it's hard to attribute someone singing on stage to, like, sheet music. You know what I mean?
But they do, you know.
I know they do. What I'm saying is
shit.
like, I think you have to know, like, how the sausage is made to know that correlation, because when you're just sitting in the crowd seeing a singer on stage and you're like, wow, how are they hitting these notes? You don't think about how, like, these notes are written out on a piece of paper that obviously they don't have in front of them on stage, but, like, is something that is a guideline that they can kind of follow for these notes to be hit.
But I also don't think a lot of vocalists nowadays do.
I'm sure that's not as...
You know, back then, you were in a band or something. You had a full band
Right.
with you. You were, like, doing live for, like, clubs, like, private clubs and shit if you were making money, you know, for people who had money.
Right.
You weren't doing, like, some bullshit-ass... I mean, they were probably before they got to that point, but, yeah, most of them, they were, like, had sheet music because they were all performing, like, as a
Isn't
band.
it crazy how, like, sheet music was at one point, like, necessary for music, and now it's, like, not forgotten about entirely. I know orchestra and, like, bands and things like that still utilize it, but, like, whenever you're talking about the scope of, like, the music industry, it's hard to think about, like, anybody in that field kind of worrying about sheet music.
Yeah, because back then, you know, jazz was really popular, blues and shit like that. Motherfuckers were on stage using cellos and violins and saxophones and shit. People were going off the cuff. It is crazy to think, though, that scat music was basically just like early day beatboxing.
Yeah.
My boy Koshin, shout out, homie, fucking
Fucking
beat-
Kosh. Dude, we should
beatboxing.
get Koshin on, dude.
Oh, we should, dude. Stays fucking boxing the beats.
No, yeah, but
That's good to be back. Hey, you know what? I was thinking about it. Kind of sucks because Fine and Dandy doesn't really have like what would the viewers? Fuck, my lip touches shit.
It shocks the shit out of you, dude.
But what would, like, you know, usually whoever watches the podcast come up with a name for the people that watch it. You know.
Oh, I see. What
We
you're
don't
saying.
have anything. I think that would sound cool.
The Dandanites.
Fine and Dandanites, Dandelions, Dandians.
The Doofles clan.
I don't. Clan.
We
just
can find a different
doesn't-
word for clan.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Doofles, the Doofelinators.
Hey, there we
The
go.
Doofle bags.
Douflays.
The Douflays, dude.
Douflays, like Bobby Douflay.
How's it spelled? D-O-O-F. The Doofs.
Dr. Doofs. We're in here. Nah, it does feel good though, man. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. And I never knew you.
Also, I just wanted to say, so I'm drinking fucking LaCroix right now because
yeah,
I bought them on a whim. Because I was like, because honestly, I've been enjoying mineral water, like sparkling water, a little bit more, like the Topo Chicos or maybe the Richard's Rainwater. Not too bad. Even Liquid Death isn't sparkling. It's like still out of the can. It's not bad. You know what I mean? Also, for January, I haven't really been drinking, so it's just nice to have like that. Like the feeling almost as if you are kind of the substitute in a way. I don't feel as bad about it, but the LaCroix were absolutely awful decision. I judged people before for drinking LaCroix, and now that I have been drinking them just so I don't feel like I wasted my money, I'm still judging you because fuck, dude, these are terrible.
Yeah.
They're not good. Holy shit, bro. These are like.
I'm really not understanding the whole sparkling water and mineral water wave. It's like
I'm here for it.
I mean, drink your water and everything. I definitely stay hydrated. But what
But
the
do
fuck
these
are we
hydrate
doing?
you?
No, that I doubt it. I don't. I'm not gonna say no because I really don't know. Actually,
Isn't it just soda? Sparkling water. What's the difference between sparkling water and fucking soda?
I mean, soda's good.
No, I mean like just soda water. It's
the
the same thing.
It is probably roughly the same thing. I can look it up.
Yeah.
Soda water
Yeah, you look it up. Wait,
versus
look it up. Look it up, boy.
sparkling water, dude. Both soda water and sparkling water are made by infusing still spring water with carbon dioxide under pressure, creating the fizz. However, soda water is further infused with bicarbonate of soda to help the drink hold its bubbles when spirits are added. So I guess sparkling water is fizzed up, but it's not bicarbonated to like keep that fizz, I guess. So it's less fizzy soda water.
That's dumb as shit.
But also, soda water is the dumbest shit. I don't fuck with soda water either. It's like, what are we doing here? Just fucking, like, why do you need bubbles in your fucking water? When did that become a thing? At what point in time were people like, you know what would go good with this hydration? Carbon. Carbon dioxide.
And that's kind of the same shit with soda, though. They just add sugar and shit, right?
Yes, but it's also not good for you. It's also not recommended.
What? Okay, so what's the difference between mineral water? I'm sorry, guys. Now we're going off.
Okay, so mineral water.
What's the difference between mineral water? Because I fuck with mineral water, too.
Wait, what's the difference between soda water and mineral water or sparkling water? And
Sparkling
mineral
water and mineral water.
Dude,
I'm drinking
this is
sparkling
a
water.
fucking 5th grade science class right now.
Hey, we're fucking crushing it. But yeah, no, going back to
Mineral water comes from an underground water source and has no naturally occurring bubbles, although they may be added. Sparkling water may come from any source, and it has been infused with carbon dioxide, aka bubbles.
also this shit says 0 sweetener, 0 sodium, 0 calorie equals innocent. The fuck kind of fucking
Innocent? What the fuck are you talking about?
That's what it says on there.
It says innocent on there?
Yeah. I don't know what kind of marketing ploy that is.
So
I guess
are they saying that like people that put calories and sweeteners and sugars and shit are guilty?
See, look, I guess this is where I'm at. The only defense I'll have is like I wanted to start drinking more of the shit like this so I don't feel as bad about not like that I feel bad about not drinking, but it makes it easier to not, you know what I mean? Like I have a beverage. It's kind of like I guess like nicotine gum almost, or like having something.
It's like a CBD cigarette.
Well, not. I mean, that's still kind of getting you. This is doing.
It's not. I'm
this
not
is
with
doing
you on that.
nothing.
No, it's the most CBD is completely not psychoactive. Smoking
Yeah, but
a
that shit'll
CBD
still get you
cigarette.
kind of high.
No, it won't.
I've gotten high on CBD.
But it wasn't CBD.
It said it on there. Shit.
I mean, they sold it as it, but they sell all kinds of things as all kinds of things.
Yeah, but I can see it. I guess this is like if you want to cut back, but you still kind of want to drink
No,
soda.
I don't think so. I think it's just
And
an
you don't-
alternative for people that have horrible taste buds.
No, I can't believe that
I
someone-
only know the only people that I know that
Brian Crescent.
I didn't even know they drank it. I was gonna
Yeah.
say only white people drink this, but now you have brought a revelation upon my experience.
They keep LaCroix in the fridge.
For real?
Yeah.
For like the dogs?
Here you go. Hope. Fuck, dude. I'm sorry.
Because when I think of LaCroix, I think of fucking Danny Gonzalez, and now I have seen so many videos of him fucking drinking LaCroix on.
I'm honestly
stream, and
pissed
I'm like,
off.
He must have had an advertisement because that
I'm
shit
just-
is ass.
I'm mad now because this shit says I'm just now reading a lot of this. It says naturally essenced.
Yeah, I
I'm
saw
mad
that from
now,
your
like-
review.
The fuck does that? Naturally essenced.
The fuck does that even mean?
It's an essence of tangerine. I know what it means. It means it's barely there. Like it's a faint taste that you can sense. Like you can sense it, but it's you don't know it's there.
I typed in naturally essence. And it said LaCroix ingredients. What are natural essences? It says LaCroix is facing a lawsuit over the mysterious ingredient that has made it a huge hit. Here's what we know about it.
Wait, what? Mysterious ingredient? Is it is essence an ingredient? Is this fucking dark crystal? Are they fucking stealing this shit from people?
For years, LaCroix lovers have been faced with a mystery. What are natural essences? Oh, dude.
My best guess is just like you know how like someone's essence, right? You can sense it's there. Like you can sense you can sense that there was supposed to be a flavoring in there, but it's just not. Like there was like
Oh, good. Hey, all you LaCroix lovers out there that might catch this
LaCroix.
whatever the fuck it's called, I don't care. In fact, as the filing states, testing reveals that LaCroix contains a number of artificial ingredients, including linalool, which is used in cockroach insecticide.
fuck, dude. What does it do?
That's the natural essence. It's cockroach killer.
Hey, dude, no bugs
No,
coming.
no bugs in me, dude.
Hey,
You want to
fuck.
keep the cockroaches out of your system? Drink LaCroix.
God, this is awful. Yeah, I kind of actually now that you mention it,
You taste the insecticide?
I think I can taste it. I think a little bit at the end. I think that's what. I don't think it's tangerine that I'm getting. I think that's what I'm getting at the end.
It says whether a substance is natural or synthetic, it should not be a health issue. An expert in food says, I don't even want to put his whole title out there. Roger Clemens is his name, and I know that was a picture. But
Yeah,
this
it's
dude says is
preposterous.
an expert in food and regulatory science at the University of Southern California. So either that picture has had a great post-career in science, or there's another Roger Clemens out there
Likely.
who
very
is
likely.
unfortunately not the pitcher.
Okay, what does that have to do with fucking?
He just said that it's all about safety as assessed by experts in nutrition, food science, food toxicology, and medicine.
I mean, yeah, they would have probably stopped production at this point. You know, I'm pissed. I
Right.
didn't get the last fucking Liquid Death. It was called like Arnold.
Arnold Palmer?
No, it was like a take on
Palmer-
that. Palmless. It was like Arnold Palmless or something shit like that. It was like they had a
Armless Palmer.
armless Palmer. Yeah, that shit's fucking hilarious.
That is kind of funny.
But they got like sued, or they were sued for like trademark purposes or whatever. And I remember like I saw like on Instagram, I saw that they discontinued like the making of those.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Kroger and I saw that like there was one case left, but I didn't want to spend the money on it. But I kind of wish I did, because those are like, you know, they're never gonna make those, the armless Palmers again.
Yeah, bro, you could have kept them as like a collector's item.
Yeah, I mean, no one would care in the future. I don't think about Liquid Death shit, but who
Yeah,
knows?
man. Maybe that box,
Canned.
maybe that last box of Armless Palmer would be worth
I
like
love-
$30K at one point.
And I love the theory. Like, in theory, like canned water is a good move, right? If it's like aluminum cans, because you can recycle aluminum and shit. I guess maybe I don't know how drinking that.
See, that's my question. Is the whole like argument about you shouldn't leave or drink a bottle of water if it's been left in the car for a certain amount of time because of the plastics.
We all got microplastics.
So like, what are we saying? Is there no ability for like the metals to like in the aluminum or whatever the can is made out of to like affect the water inside after a certain amount of time? Does liquid death water have an expiration date? Is it the first water that can expire because of the like canister? You know.
Maybe doubtful though. Like once you pop, but it's just kind of annoying because it's like you pop it open, it's open. You know what I mean?
Well, they have a bunch of different like. So I've seen in the past like little like attachments that you can put on cans. So like a soda that you want to keep its fizz, you put like a little cap on it and put it back in the fridge. Or like I've seen some for like dog food, like the wet dog food. Whenever you only want to use half of it and you don't want like the rest of the other half to just be like open air in the fridge or out on the counter, you can kind of like cover it with these little like caps that go over like the lid and everything.
Yeah, fuck the taste though.
Of dog food? Yeah, no, I agree.
No, yeah. Uh-oh, Raggy. Fucking head ass. Nah, I just the taste of fucking can.
Yeah.
The can. The only time I'm ever like, the can enhances the flavor. If I'm in the mood for a 99-cent Arizona tea, then I'm like, the can tastes kind of, it hits a little bit better sometimes than like the bottled Arizona one.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
But most of the time, I don't want to taste can in my water,
Yeah, no, I do feel where you're coming from.
Canned water is just not it's not a vibe.
But they also have like those alkaline waters that kind of almost taste like canned water without the can.
That's a good motto.
Okay.
Tastes just like liquid death without the can. Delicious. You saw now they have the thing where you can technology, am I right? This is getting fucking ridiculous. Where you can sniff it and like it's like a smell and it makes the water taste like whatever you're smelling.
Oh, is that like that? Is that like the same idea as the lady that would like smell a fucking chocolate bar and then eat a salad? Did you see that video?
I did. I think that's
is that the same idea? It's like
it's a little
your
different.
taste is like overpowered by your sense of smell sometimes. So like when you're smelling one thing and you're tasting another thing, it can kind of like correlate almost.
I don't know if eating the salad I think that's more so just like I want the chocolate, but I'm gonna behave.
Well, did your parents ever do like so my dad did the thing whenever I was a kid where it's like you're like I don't want to eat my vegetable, or I don't want to eat this, whatever the thing is, and he's like why? And you're like it's nasty. He's like close your nose and then eat it.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you won't
yeah.
even taste it type shit.
Yeah.
There is like a correlation with your taste buds to what you're smelling.
Your taste
at
is
the time.
directly correlated with your smell, which is
So
why like COVID, when you would lose your sense of smell,
you would also lose
your
sense of taste.
Yeah.
And I get that, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that like, was that lady crazy for smelling chocolate and eating salad?
No, for sure, still that. That's there's no, I don't care what the thing. That's for sure, 100%. Like just like putting the full nostril smell of the chocolate.
I was like, oh damn, it ain't that serious, bro. Just get some ranch.
Yeah, that shit's kind of fucking.
It'll be all right.
Yeah, like bro, but like that shit is kind of crazy. Like all that shit. Most, I guess.
That is crazy, yeah.
Correctly.
Technology,
bro.
Fuck, dude.
Damn, I had something that was that I just saw it recently. We ended up fucking talking about
LaCroix for 20 minutes.
Nah, we talked about liquid death and shit too. Fucking.
Nah, I'm kidding.
And then smelling flavored fucking water or whatever that.
Pamplemousse.
What?
There's a flavor of LaCroix called Pamplemousse.
I don't know.
Somebody on Reddit said, let me see if I can find this comment.
What was I?
Say what does naturally essence mean? They said they put limoncello in the same room as the sparkling water.
Natural essence. That's a fucking.
It said it means that to flavor the Pamplemousse LaCroix seltzer, an actual grapefruit is escorted through the factory. People are saying it's like the tangerine. It's like there's no flavor of tangerine or
There's not.
grapefruit or anything. They just like bring that bitch past all the water.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what the essence
that's
is.
what the essence is. It's natural.
Do you ever? Now I don't know if you ever been to Disney World where it's like that ride where you go through like the orchard or whatever. It's called Soar, I think. And then it has all the smells. So you're like, I'm in a.
I don't think I've seen that one. When did you go to Disney World?
Dude, a long time ago.
I went when I was in like second grade.
I was
like 7 or 8.
I went back years.
Oh damn, that's far.
Yeah. My family. Well, the first year we went and we spent time with, 'cause we went with Cade's family.
Oh okay.
That was the second year we went, and we had like a way better time the first. Honestly, I think that made me realize, dude. I just 'cause like there's itinerary people. I'm very thankful my family's not itinerary driven. They're very much. We'll wake up like at a decent time, probably like 9 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we'll just, hey, you want to go catch some breakfast in the place that, like, you know what I mean? Like, not like we need to try, like, we have some stuff planned out, but then the rest of it is just like.
I think there's a time and place to be an itinerary person. I think certain trips require it because you want to like kind of get the bang for your buck. Whenever the trip is Disney World, it's like, all right, well, we're here. Like, we don't have to have an itinerary. Let's just have some fucking fun. Let's figure out what we're going to want to do, see what we want to see, eat where we want to eat, whatever type shit. Whenever you're going to, like, when it's, like, you and your lady or fucking just you. Like, think about it this way. Whenever you went to Colorado by yourself, that's an itinerary trip. That's one where you're like, I kind of, like, want things to be lined up so that, like, I know that well, obviously, that wasn't supposed to be by yourself. But that's one of those things where you're just like, I want to know that, like, the money that I'm putting into this trip, because it was supposed to be, like, a relationship trip.
Well, I mean, I just had another one.
I know you did. What I'm saying is
the like original one?
The original one.
Yeah.
Because it was, like, that first one that you were trying to, like, put together and, like, kind of thing, like kind of string together for, like, not just for you, but also for her at the time and shit like that. It was like that because like that's one of those trips where you're like, I don't want to get there and be like, all right, well, what do you want to do? Well, no, I don't know. What do you want to do? Well, I'm not from here, so I don't know what there is to do. It's like you don't want that trip for one of those like situations where it's like you and your girl like going to sightseeing or like getting a vacation away. Like you want to be able to kind of have some things like laid out that you want to go do type shit.
Oh, 100%.
But there are a bunch of other trips where it's like, why are we even thinking about that? Let's just go have some fun.
Yeah, I think I've always been an in-between person. I think I always will kind of in person. Like maybe have like one thing planned for the day, and then where like just kind of check out the area maybe for ask some people. I don't know. I can't be like a person. We're waking up at this time. Like don't get me wrong, no, we can wait. Like I like not necessarily like wake up at this time. Like of course let's get our day started a little earlier so we can maximize time we have to do stuff. But like I don't want it to be time by like schedule, especially at Disney World, bro. It's like you're standing in lines.
Right.
Who fucking cares, bro?
Them flash passes used to hit hard.
Dude, and I heard nowadays though it's
they
like
don't even do it.
What?
The flash pass?
They do the flash passes, but like
everybody gets them.
It's exactly. You know what I mean? Like everyone's paying for flash pass, so is it a flash pass? More like, hey, you want to save 2 minutes? You want to shred 2 minutes? Pay an extra $50.
So many people get the flash pass that they had regular lines going faster.
I've heard that. Dude. It's actually fucking ridiculous.
Fucking losers.
It's like, have you ever seen at the airports where it's like the clear pass?
Yeah, the TSA clear pass.
And then it's like, it's longer than the regular line sometimes.
Sometimes, but that shit is fast as fuck if you have it. And you go obviously you gotta go to the airport at the right times.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes those lines, bro.
Sometimes they are. I'm not gonna hold you. Sometimes they are, but most
not the
of
clear
the time,
pass. I'm talking about the regular lines. Bro.
Oh yeah. No, but I was gonna say the clear pass lines be getting like stopped up too because they only got one lane.
Yeah.
So this other line's got like 7 fucking 8 lanes type shit. So everybody's going. Obviously, it's mashed up and there's a fuck ton of people in there.
Yeah.
But they have a flow to it. This one lane, it's like if you don't got your passport shit right, then I mean you got to put all of us behind.
Houston Airport. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like people always said, like the Denver Airport's the most like discombobulated. Like I always say, like it's so unorganized and like they lose shit and stuff. I'd say going through the Denver Airport was so much smoother than going.
Like Bush or Hubby?
There's Bush.
Yeah, Bush fucking sucks,
bro. Like the staff was just rude as shit and stuff. Shit like. Don't ask a question. Don't ask them any questions.
Oh no, yeah, mind your business.
Don't ask any questions. Like, dude, there was one point where like were telling us to get in like a different line, and they were just like, we started going over, and they're like, no, get back in this line. I was like, all right, what are we doing now? Now you don't even know. And like they were, I don't know, it was like all over the place. Shit was good.
See, but like for this past like Dallas trip I went to, I didn't have an itinerary, but it was kind of like that. It's like I had a couple things I know I want to do and a couple things I know I gotta do. Like I have an event that I'm going to, boom. I can kind of use that as like a staple to build the rest of my day type shit. I know I need a haircut. Bet I'm gonna have to find a barber shop. I'm gonna go fucking catch the Texas game was on that day. It was like I'm gonna try to catch the Texas game at a local bar type shit. So like my whole day was like planning itself out as I was like, all right, I'm trying to do this. All right, I'm trying to do this type shit. Now that was easy to do because I had like a person that was like, quote unquote, showing me around Dallas. Like he was letting me stay with him type shit. The rest of my day was kind of filled out by like, but as soon as I got there, he was like, all right, bet tomorrow morning we go to the gym. I was like, oh, bet. That's one thing I'm about to knock out. After the gym, we about to eat up real quick, smoke up, obviously. And then at that point, he had to go to Vegas, and I was gonna stay in Dallas type shit. And I was like, bet now is my time to find a barber shop. He gave me a recommendation. It was actually a pretty good recommendation. They gave me a good fade. And right next door to that barber shop, like 3 doors down, was this little like Cajun spot. Like it was next door to like a rowdy ass bar that I was gonna check out at first, like a sports bar type shit. I was like, honestly, this Cajun spot is like very like what's the word, like warming, like welcoming type shit. It seemed like nice, and I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna just go sit at the bar in there, watch this Texans game, like chill. And honestly, that was a great decision. There was some people like celebrating their birthday at the bar, like was fucking with them, was fucking with the bartender and shit like that. It was like probably a much better experience than I would have had next door, just like trying to see what's up with the rowdy crowd type shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes it's those little homie like little hole in the wall nook ass type of places.
And then I fucking called an Uber back to my homie spot. Took a shower, fucking smoked up again before I went to my event, the event. Next day, it's like I was planning on doing some shit in Dallas, but my flight got canceled. So I had to fucking figure out, try how to get back to Houston, basically. That's when that snowstorm was about to come in. So they canceled my 5 o'clock flight. I woke up at fucking 11 because I was drunk as shit at my work event. But when I woke up, I was like, fuck, the next flight leaves at 1 o'clock. I got to get to the airport, like, now. So I took a shower, got my shit together, left. Got to the airport, like, 12:40. As soon as I got through, like, fucking security, I'm, like, rushing to the gate. I get to the gate, and I get a text. Your flight has been delayed an hour and a half. I was like, fuck. Could have, like, done something. I could have, like, eaten lunch or fucking done something in the city. But now I'm chilling at the airport for a full hour and a half just kicking it.
So just wait, the new flight you got?
The new flight got delayed.
Was it weather? Or
yeah, it was fucked.
Winds or
it
what?
was bad weather. No.
Oh, it's because it was cold as shit. That's when
the snowstorm, yeah.
Yeah.
Snowstorm was coming into Dallas.
Honestly, yeah, flying during that time is.
It wasn't ideal. No.
You were like the equivalent of Texas if you flying during that time period is like Home Alone whenever when they were flying is like fucking snowing or like not just snowing but like also them being like, yeah, sorry, it's fucking busy as shit.
Yeah, but not to just to like trying to draw it back is like there was like a lack of itinerary, but me being a somewhat of an itinerary person, I was able to build one off the fly type shit. So I think there is like a good common ground between like being an itinerary person when you need to be, and then also knowing when to turn that shit off and just kind of go with the flow. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I really want to travel.
I want to go to Boston this year.
That'd be a cool spot. I don't know if I'd want to hit per se.
I want to hit Boston, Colorado.
Colorado's mine.
And probably Dallas and Austin this year.
Honestly, having traveled to the places I have traveled though, honestly, it's made me appreciate. But I think it's just maybe one of those things where it's weird because you have me as a person. I would think that I would not like Houston as much, right?
Mm.
But I don't know. Houston has a lot more to offer. I think
it's misrepresented in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I could see it though. Like the OG like culture of Houston when like fucking popping the trunks. You know what I mean?
I mean, but the thing is that still exists, and that's still very much a cultural like staple for Houston. But it's not a defining moment for Houston. It's not all that there is. The fact of the matter is that Houston is so diverse that you can have these staples that are contradictory to one another that completely do exist in the like hemisphere of what Houston has to offer.
Yeah, we're changing and growing constantly, especially with everyone moving here too. I think, weirdly enough, in the next like few years, we'll like come into. It's crazy because Houston's been around for however long, but I think we'll actually come into our own as like a city, like more definitively. I think in what we're capable of, like culture wise, because we have so much culture here.
I think what it is that for a long time Houston was overlooked as like this midpoint, this
Rinky Dink oil town.
Rinky Dink oil town is one way of looking at it, but more so just like looking at it as like this manufacturing helm. Whereas like you have LA being the entertainment hub, and then New York being Wall Street and like business type shit. Houston's always been looked at as like this, like it is a big city, we get that, but it's because we need all you guys in the oil field, or we need you guys at the ship channel, or we need you guys doing this, or border patrol, like whatever the fucking conversation becomes, it's always like not seeing Houston for what it is, it's seeing Houston for what you need it to be. We need people in these oil fields because we need these like our economy to be running off of a smooth ride and da 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 da. We need people in the chemical plants. We need people in the ship channel. We need people doing these things that nobody wants to do. So it's like it's almost being overlooked for what it is capable of because it's only being seen for like what people can use it for type thing.
Yeah, I think also though I've known a lot of people that move away because they're like, I just feel like I fit in Houston, or like think that like Houston not a lot, you can't really dress how you want to or be how you want to, and I think
a lot of that's
degree,
outdated to a degree.
Yeah, I think to a degree. I mean, you go anywhere, that's going to be a lot. Right?
Yeah.
But I think also here, I mean, dude, I know so many people that dress so many different ways that are just different in general. You know what I mean? Come from different spectrums of just life, from all over.
And you have to be a bit of a malleable person to exist in Houston. You can't just expect that, like, everyone's going to treat you the same because, first and foremost, most people don't give a fuck about you. And the people that do are going to see you for who you really are, not this facade of what you want other people to think you are.
Yeah, I think what it is, I just, it's like people go to other cities and stuff because they want something more curated, right? Something a little bit more like palatable to what their personality is, right?
Yeah.
I think the easiest for me is like when I went to Colorado, right? Talking to a lot of people, they view Texas fucking worse. White, like it was funny because it was white people there saying like, yeah, the white people in Texas are the worst. I'm like, dude, calm down,
relax.
Relax. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're like great, you know what I'm saying?
This isn't a defense mechanism, but just like don't like what's the word? Your shit stinks too. Type
yeah,
shit,
yeah, exactly. Like, calm down, bro. I've said it a lot. I'll say it again though. It's like one of those things where it's like the people who are like, oh yeah, these places suck because they're bigot and fucking racist and stuff, and then they move to the most white city of all time.
Yeah, I mean,
the white place of all time.
It's just like it's just people that are willing to not, I guess, respect the idea that the grass isn't always greener. It's like no one's saying that these people that you're saying like are bigots and da da da. Yeah, they absolutely do exist. Not defending anything to do with them, but you're trying to act like you have zero like things that you would probably regret people finding out about. Everyone has something that they're like, well, I'm not going to post that. So, I mean, this is just a person that's not afraid to post that. This is a person who's lost that filter of like, well, I shouldn't be rude to other people, or, well, maybe I do think this, but it's probably not productive or positive to be able to share this message, so I probably won't. I'll just keep it to myself. Like, there are a lot of people that have lost that filter, and these are the people that you're dealing with. And I'm not saying that like it's good or bad. What I'm saying is you're just trying to judge somebody for doing the thing probably in a lot of situations you wish you could fucking do. You wish you had the fucking strength and power within yourself to be a big
holy shit, it fucking ass. Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I think, like you said too, though, it is you do have to be a little bit more malleable because there are so many different types of people. It's not as definitive. It's not as much like you can go and it's this type of culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think
like you go to like people love Austin because it's like a little bit more of a free
the keep Austin
quote
weird
unquote
idea, yeah.
quote unquote. It's
Yeah.
not that really anymore.
Yeah, no, it's
People
more
still want to hold on to
political
that, but people feel more open and willing to do that because of an idea, the perception that it is more
Right.
open, right? Even though that you probably still deal with the same bullshit that is anywhere else, right? They do. I will say, like, over there, music is booming right now. Fucking entertainment shit's booming. Like, there's a lot of shit that is booming over there. But like in Houston, it's like there are so many different types of people that I don't think people think about. It's like right now, like the metal scene in general, like, dude, is like fucking some of the most diverse people. Like furries are fucking out there just moshing and shit. Like, where else, you know what I'm saying? Are you gonna go and see the furries in the pit?
Right.
Fucking at a metal show, you know what I mean? I mean, there's probably other places, but like that shit's happening in Houston. What like there's fucking like the rave scenes out here is a lot going on over there too. Fucking,
I don't know. I think a big portion of it is like, I think whenever I say like people are too sensitive, I don't mean it kind of in the way that it's been like portrayed recent. I think people have kind of gotten desensitized to what it means to be sensitive to something.
Yeah.
Relatively, I mean, if you are capable of being comfortable with who you are and yourself, then you don't have to be offended by other people not seeing you as that. In my opinion, it's like if you think that you fucking like need other people's respect in certain aspects, then like that in itself is a problem. It's not that other people aren't respecting you. It's that you are putting so much power into gaining other people's respect that you're not doing anything to earn it.
well, I think they're also. It's weird because there's a point where you should just be allowed to live, right?
Right.
Free as a person the way you want. There also is a point where it's like you can't expect everyone.
If someone doesn't treat you how you would like to be treated, the other part of the golden rule is that you don't have to fuck with them.
I think there is a thing.
You can still treat people how you want to be treated, and if they don't treat you how you would like to be treated, that doesn't mean you have to flip the fuck out, make a scene, and now like all eyes are on me type shit. You know what I mean?
And I think there are a lot more people than people give credit to that are willing to understand, or just like they just don't understand. But
right.
If they were to talk to you or get to know you as a person, they might actually understand a little bit better. They might not necessarily agree completely, you know what I mean, or even really like love the idea of whatever the case may be. But I think that people are willing to listen. And also, I know, like, bro, there's people I know that fucking will crack open a Bush fucking light, but they like Bush Light, fucking blue collar worker, but they'll fucking read manga and watch anime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in Houston, you can literally find a fucking like plant working twink that fucking watches anime, and I think that's a beautiful thing in a way.
I mean, yeah, but again, that just goes back to the diversity factor that exists in this city that isn't really like expressed upon or utilized in its own, like, I guess in its own avenues. Basically what I'm trying to say is that there's so many pockets of things going on in Houston and not so much of a flow of those pockets interacting with one another. So therefore it's harder for any support to happen because people don't want to go outside of their groupings, and now in today's society with these fucking algorithms, it's harder to go outside of your groupings. You're being shown only the things that the algorithm thinks you want to see. So I mean, how can you continue to branch out from those things if all you're doing is living in that echo chamber?
Yep.
And that's what Houston's becoming, is it's like these separate echo chambers. You can separate it by the city, like the outskirts cities of Houston, or you can separate it by the genres. You can separate it by the business venue or avenue, I guess. There's so many different ways to kind of like, I guess, segment off the different levels of talent in Houston, not just in the art field or the entertainment field, but even in fucking plant work. Like, yes, there is plant workers that are twinks and fucking manga readers and anime lovers and da-da-da-da-da. But you don't hear about them. I mean, we just know some of them. You know what I mean? It's like, there's like not these stories of unique paths are not being explored. They're just kind of here.
But I think that, I mean, that's the beauty of it, right?
To a degree, I'm not saying that
being
it's not
able to
beautiful.
exist,
I'm saying that it could be so
the
much
movements
more.
aren't as strong. There's not as much momentum behind them. Like,
Right.
people aren't out here be like, hey. But I think that's also a beautiful thing, too, is, like, people can just exist, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's always, like, a big driving point for me is, like, I understand the power of community. You know what I mean? It's important to have, like, support and people there for you. But I think also in that, people within any community, it doesn't matter whatever community it is, even fucking the NRA motherfuckers, you know what I mean? It doesn't need to be a thing where you're like, you should also have to love what we're doing over here.
Right, but I mean that's the kind of the idea.
But don't hate on, like, also
There's no hate, but I mean that's kind of where the idea at the end of the Barbie movie, whenever she was like the ordinary Barbie, it's like we should be able to have like yeah, there's Barbies that are doctors and Barbies that are presidents and Barbies that are all these things, but like what about the mom that is just trying to get through the day, that's trying to be a good role model for her daughter, that's doing things that a regular person would have to do, you know what I mean? Like, what about that person? It's like, that's kind of beautiful, too. That person has a story as well. I guess what I'm saying is I'm not saying that it's not beautiful. What I'm saying is the way that Houston is set up in these pockets and programmed into these, like, segmentations makes it difficult for that person to have a platform of any kind. And I don't mean, like, a platform like a podcast or a fucking Twitter following. I mean like a platform in their community, a platform to be able to be respected in their family or things like that. It's
that is true.
It's seen as like you don't get to shine as much as you possibly could because you're kind of delved into these pockets.
And I could also see how it would be harder if you don't feel like you have as much support, since those things aren't, you know,
when you rely on those things being your backbone of your support, it's lacking in those areas. You don't even see that there's all these different like venues of support that you could be utilizing towards your goal. It's kind of like whenever we were in the house, and I think I brought it up before, when we were in the house and you came home from work one day. It's like, I don't know what it is, guys, but like my friends at work think I'm fucking hilarious, and every time I'm talking to you guys fucking think I'm an idiot. It's like, it is kind of that. It's like, if you're just around us all the time, you say some fucking stupid shit, we're gonna make you feel like you're fucking stupid. But if you say some stupid shit to some people you've never met before, they're like, wow, that was fucking profound.
I don't know about profound, but
you feel what
profoundly
I'm saying.
hilarious. Like, holy shit, dude. Kind of crazy, because I feel like these past, I'd say probably since maybe as I got back from college, maybe a little bit before that, dude. I feel like I used to be like so more out of pocket. Not like I was even trying, just like shit would come to me. You know what I mean? And I'd just be like so much more like excited to just do anything and just meet people, say stupid shit. Now I'm like so much more. Well, I honestly feel like I'm back on that now. Like I'm back. No, like in the past, like. So we were sick. We were sick for like a week, dude. We were fucking dying. Like,
dude, it was
last
tough.
week. It was,
honestly, I'm still not like over it.
Well,
it's
I still got the congestion,
waves, bro.
I'm not like sick, but
it's
I have
coming
congestion.
in waves, bro. So
you?
like at work, I'm good, and then I'll come. I don't know if it's an allergy thing. I'm starting to think it's an allergy thing now because like whenever I'm at home, my throat will start to close up throughout the night, and I wake up, that bitch fucking sore. I wake up, have some coffee, like kind of soothes it a little bit, get to work, shit's clean all day. And I come back home, it's like, the process restarts. Well, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, it's an allergy thing. It might be from the dogs, dude. Like the hair, like the dander. So much, like if there's a lot of dander, like free dander and shit, like that's why my allergies are so bad. But like, yeah, sick the last week and shit. But like, maybe it's me not being sick anymore, but just like.
You feel
it's kind of weird. It made
more
me
out of pocket now that you're not sick anymore.
Not just that, but it was like one of those things where it's weird how like we look at life in just like segments, or just like for that period of time. I don't know, just that period of time for me, these last few months, maybe like half a year, just kind of felt like I was like, I didn't feel. It's weird because I didn't feel depressed or anything, but I didn't feel like the urge to do anything.
It's the idea that the chapters of your life don't have a set amount of pages to them.
Yeah.
Some of the chapters are hundreds of pages long, and some of them are only 1 page.
It's just
or
like
2 pages.
Exactly. So I think it goes back to just like how I've been talking about like quarter life crisis type of thing. I know it sounds stupid, but just like
I mean, the more you've been talking about it, the more I'm like, I mean, it's not wrong. I mean, I feel like everybody has that, and it's not as much of a crisis as much as more of it is as like a
shift.
It shifts.
In
It shifts
mindset.
it of like an awareness almost. Like, well, I haven't died yet. I guess this is really happening. I guess we got to figure some shit out now.
That's exactly what it is. Like I'm still doing. It's crazy because I still doing like shit like this, getting the guests on, meeting the people, fucking awesome. And of course, it could feel just like a mundane thing at times because it's like another week. I enjoy doing it though. I enjoy like the journey of it all, throwing events and stuff too. But there was just a period where like I wasn't going out, I wasn't really meeting people, dude. Like there was a point where I just didn't like you like I would talk to a lot of people, and I just know so many people too. Not like oh I know so many people, but like it got to a point where it was almost like a hindrance.
Yeah.
Like not a hindrance, but like more like a curse almost. Like it was like cause I didn't really want to talk to people. I was kind of just like I don't really want to socialize. I kind of am just in my own bubble right now. Like I'd go out and I would see somebody I know. I'm like, I don't really want to say hi. And then they'd be like, hey. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Right.
Hey. You know what I mean? And nothing against them or anything. I was just like, I for some reason just didn't have
that
energy or urge to do it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, man. But finally, like, it was weird because I was sitting there. I was thinking about it a couple days ago. And I was just like, man, I kind of missed that urge of me just, like, wanting to be able to talk to people. And, like, I used to have like the want almost like subconsciously to run into somebody. Like I would almost like desire is not the right word. Sounds weird to say. Yeah, but like almost really just like wanted that to happen. I wanted to run into somebody I knew just to feel that rush almost. Like, yo, and have that conversation. Like you know, just the feeling of seeing somebody out and you're like, oh fuck, you know, how you been and shit. And but like I didn't have that for a long time and I kinda missed that, right? And I was like, I don't really have that anymore. And then literally, as I was thinking that, I pull into the gas station. I go inside, and someone's like, yo! I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you didn't recognize me? I was like, no.
I hate that question.
I didn't recognize him. I didn't recognize him, I'll be honest. But
I hate
like
that question. If I did recognize you, I would have said hi. If I didn't recognize you, you did not need to ask that question. I hate that question.
Yeah, but like I didn't, but I was like, oh fuck. And then something kind of clicked and I was like, dude, honestly, I do miss it. Like I'm going to be like I want to make that effort again. I don't know, it's weird cuz for that period of time I just didn't want to do anything.
I'm not gonna lie to you. See, like and it's like in my mind as I was thinking about what I wanted to say here, it sounded bad, and as I'm about to say it, it's probably gonna sound worse. But I'm on the complete opposite end of that. I think for a while I was like definitely going out of my way to probably spend more time with other people that either one didn't. It sounds bad to say didn't deserve my time, but that's not what I'm not saying like I'm too good for them or anything like that. I mean like probably didn't respect my time. It's probably a better way of saying it. Giving energy to probably people that weren't reciprocating things that maybe made me feel the same way I was trying to make them feel, but in a lot of different scenarios. And I think for a long time I was going out like kind of wanting to kind of maybe run into some people and da-da-da-da-da. Now I'm very much against like wasting any of my time having like small talk conversations with people that I know don't give a fuck about that conversation. That's very much where I'm existing very comfortably.
That's where that's where I was for like this last half of the year comfortably.
But that's what I'm saying is like I don't project myself. I guess that's the difference is I don't project myself getting to a point where I'm like I really miss those conversations, or I really miss those like little instances. Now I very much fear running into people because it means that I'll probably have to have a conversation that I don't want to have.
That was me. Yeah.
That's very much where I stand, and because honestly, it's like it's nothing like you said, it's nothing against these people. It's very much about me and like how I'm kind of viewing my not just my past, but what I want, how I would like my future to be. Not exactly living in the moment. And kind of like doing whatever I feel is best in that moment or whatever. I think for me, it's like I kind of want to experience new things. I want to meet new people. It's not nothing against the people that are in my past. I love everybody that I've come across to a degree. I don't have hate for anybody that I've had in my life. But like, over the past year, I honestly, that's something that I've been practicing, is trying to like expand. Like whenever I do meet a new person, not being the person in the back of my head that's like, nah, fuck it, you don't gotta introduce yourself. It's like, no, look, hey man, I'm Josh, nice to meet you, type shit. It's like I really do enjoy meeting a new person and like bringing new things into my life and trying to embrace that change to a degree. And I'm not saying that like running into old people is like not being able to change. What I'm saying is I'd rather not do that. I'd rather not run into old people and be like, hey, this is what I've been up to. I know you don't give a fuck. It's not like you're going to go home and tell your partner or your family. It's like, you never guess who I ran into today. It's like, that's not what's going to come of this. So like we can cut this shit. I mean, maybe we can fucking get a drink if you want to, but like relatively, I don't want to play this fucking game of like, you care about what I've been doing and I care about what you've been doing. I don't, you don't. It's fine. We can just hang out. Yeah. That's fine too.
When I was younger, I was giving my energy way more willy-nilly, you know?
Very much so. And like that's where I'm at now, is like I like to give my energy to the people that, one, if it's somebody I haven't met before, I have no reason not to give it to you. It's like this could be 100 different things. You could be fucking the best man at my wedding for all I fucking know, and I'm turning you away just because I'm being a dickhead or whatever. Theoretically speaking, like that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just like these like weird conversations at the grocery store or fucking high school reunions. It's like, we don't gotta do this shit. What is this charade? People play charades too often in conversations. Like, you're not this person. Why are you portraying yourself as this person right now?
It makes those real conversations that much better.
That's true.
It's just like, I guess, once again, it was more like a death in a way. Like a death. Sounds really like I'm exaggerating it. It sounds over the top, but a little extra. But it did. Like, for like that 6 months, it just felt like a death of like me trying to rebirth this new version of myself. Because, you know, I mean, I will say, like, because for so long when I was going out and I was doing all these things, a lot of it was fun. And then, like, I did have dreams and shit, you know, but, like, I feel like I was searching for stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Like, now that I have pretty much all the things I want, other than all the money that I could have, I don't have that. But other than that, like, I have all the things that I want. It's kind of like where it's at a point where it's like, now it's time to focus in and build from, you know what I mean? Like, the foundation is so solid. Like, I gotta build.
For you, yes, but also it's like, it's
shit.
Oh, my bad. My bad, guys. I'll plug it in.
I thought it was plugged in. That was my, oh, wait. Oh, shit. Also press close. Always something, am I right? Hell yeah. But no, it's been like a death. It just like being reborn, because the foundation's there. It's just time to build on top of that and just like really hone in on all the things I really care about and really push forward. And, you know, like,
I think shift is the right word, because it's not like I don't think it's like a death. That thing is still there. It's not dead. It's more so it's a shift from this idea of like, I have to go and get it, to the idea of I have it. Now I have to maintain it and build on it. It's like the idea. It's like whenever you want to build a garden, you need soil, you need brick, you need a shovel, you need all these things. Once you go get those things, now you have what you need to build the garden. And even once you build the garden, you're not done. You still have to maintain that garden and see if you can extend it or grow new plants, new flowers. And there's always going to be weather that affects those things that you're growing in this garden, but it is up to you to maintain that as the gardener. That's kind of the idea, is that you're shifting from somebody that wants to get some soil and a shovel to somebody that has a garden and needs to know how to maintain it and also build upon it.
I'm going to continue on that. I just want to say their motto should be, LaCroix, do you love the taste of cockroach killer? Because that's what this shit fucking is. God, fucking, you drink LaCroix, fuck you, dude. It's just bad. I'm sorry. I mean, your taste buds are your taste buds. I can't hate on something different. Fuck. I'm still going to drink it because I'm going to get my money's worth out of this shit. I'm not going to waste it. Fuck it. But it really is like that, and it really is like growing up and just, I guess, realizing what that shift is and like what relationships are and the meaning of that now. You know what I mean? And I think I get a lot of that satisfaction too now from this,
Yeah.
doing this and being at events and throwing events. Is like I don't feel like I need to go out and get that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't. I guess I get that though.
But some of that
Honestly,
was cool. Like the community of that at times was cool. You know, like being a regular somewhere and see, hey, good to see you again. Or whatever the case may be. Was
I do like your analogy of like searching for something though, because that is kind of it does apply in a lot of situations. It's hard to say that like you were searching for any one thing though. It's more so just like a culmination of not knowing what you're looking for and
yes,
continuing to look for it.
Yep.
Like looking for a needle in a haystack without knowing that you're looking for a needle. You're just going through fucking hay.
and there was a lot of good moments that did come out of like people wise. Like good
Yeah.
talks and stuff. But it was a lot of unnecessary things that were there too. You know what I mean? Like I
Right.
could cut a lot of that. I could have cut a lot of that out. And I don't know. I guess not everyone's gonna have that problem either. Though there's a lot of people who just are doing the same things over and over again and need change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a different way. Like I was doing that, but I didn't really feel like I was in a rut or anything. It's just like now I'm kind of at a point. Like it was at a point where I'm like, who am I now? You know what I
Right.
mean?
But I think that is an important question that I don't know if everyone gets to ask themselves in certain situations or circumstances. A lot of things can change the outlook of how you view yourself, and how you view yourself can change the outlook of your life. So it's very difficult to have I guess a contained view on one, who you are, and two, who you want to be. And it's even harder to build a path from point A to point B. So it's important to realize whenever you're on that path, and important to realize where you are on that path, because it's also important to realize that path doesn't present itself for everybody. It's like the count your blessings type of thing, because it's like it could always be worse, da 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 da. But that doesn't mean that you should treat it like it is already worse, or that everyone's worst scenario is a roadblock in the way of your personal path. Because it's very simple to tell yourself that why you can't do something instead of tell yourself why you have to.
I try to be as grateful. Man, every day, like I wake up, like I said, I have pretty much all the things I personally want. I don't need a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just need people like for this, built a foundation, got a podcast, right? That's something I want to do. I get to throw events, book people that I know and love. I'm already like in my eyes, that's already like success. Do I want to do it bigger and better? Of course, I want to constantly grow. That's just like a human thing, right? Just keep going because you kind of have to, right? There's not like a moment that stops. But it's waking up and just being thankful that I'm able to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, even when you have things, like you said, it goes back to so many ups and downs. Like, life is fucking constant
It's
fucking
a highway. You can ride it all
night long, right? Fucking hills and valleys, bro. It's fucking chutes and ladders for real.
It really is.
Real game of chutes and ladders. And you just never know when you're going to be up one day and then you might hit that fucking chute and you're right back down.
I mean, it really does, like, it's fucked with me for a long time, just, like, the strange thought process of, like, how much a moment matters. Like, that question in itself, how much does a moment matter? In a lot of moments, a moment doesn't matter at all. Whenever you're on an hour-long car drive and you do get from point A to point B absolutely safely, it's hard to pick any one moment on that drive that mattered, because the thing that there was no problems, you got there safely, you almost didn't even realize it. You were maybe listening to music or a podcast or on the phones, like you're just kind of there. But if at any point during that drive your tire popped off and all of a sudden you're in a 4-car wreck, that moment mattered. As soon as that tire popped off, in that moment something matters. You know what I mean? So it's like how can you quantify like the definition of like what a moment can mean for your life? Everything can change as fast as that, But then you can also go on, you can experience moment after moment into infinity almost with like maybe no changes or issues or problems or anything. So it's like, one, how much does a moment matter? And two, how can you prevent it from, I guess, defining you?
You know, it's crazy because nostalgia has really, like, I think, helped me in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I said, that period of time that I went through, like, almost reminiscing on all the times that I had. Like, for instance, like, I'll even go not that long ago, just, like Darian. Dude dipped off. No one knows where he's at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hope he's doing all right. Miss him, dude. One of my really good friends. But I'm pretty sure he dipped off, to take care of some family shit. But it's one of those things where it's like, I really enjoyed those times.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be doing that now.
Right.
Kind of crazy. Like, he dipped off, and then, I got with Shelby, and then not going out anymore.
It's like, was he even real?
Dude, it feels like that sometimes. But he was also the type of person, like, every path he crossed, like, impacted.
Yeah.
And he just dipped away. Like,
he's like our little dwarf angel.
Almost. In a weird way, man. I do miss him. But, like, just holding, like, realizing how much moments do matter, or, like, a moment does matter. Like, looking back at it, just I was enjoying the time we had together, but it's like, little did I know I'd probably maybe never see him again.
Yeah.
And that's a truth that can happen in a lot of...
It's a frightening truth. Well, honestly, like, it's anything that's unknown is slightly frightening. The truth that is known can be a lot more frightening. Like, I mean, in situations where people, like, lose friends or partners, like, to death, you know what I mean? Like, that is a situation where it's like, that's a very uncomfortable truth. There will never be a day where you get to speak to this person again. Not know, like, I lost your number and I might run into you one day. I hope you're doing well. This is a definitive answer that you will never.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That
That's a very uncomfortable truth that so many people, if not everybody, has to deal with. I mean, some people are lucky enough to not have to deal with loss to the same degree that others do.
Yeah.
But to a degree, it is a part of life. So it's tough, man, because it's like there are these things that, like, people, I think that it's that people know that ignorance is bliss and that the truth is hard. But nobody really wants to admit it. Nobody really wants to admit that they would prefer to be ignorant. And nobody really wants to admit how hard the truth actually is. Because it's fucking crippling, and it's so easy not to pay attention to
it. I think just in general, it goes back to that facade there. It's just so easy to just not pay attention to anything and be oblivious. And, it's weird. Call me cynical,
You're cynical or whatever.
Thank you. I appreciate it. No, but just when people are so oblivious, like, there's people that people are like, that person's so sweet and nice. I'm like, yeah, but they're oblivious to so much of the shit that's going on. I had this conversation with Shelby too. He's like,
is that good though, or is that
It's like the moral. Where does the moral compass really lie? Because it's like, if the person...
Are you the asshole for bringing them out of that oblivion?
Not even just that, but is it like the person who's like a sweetheart, right, to everyone, but they lay a blind eye to all this other shit that's happening, therefore allowing or enabling certain other shit to happen? Are you a good person? Where does that good person, bad person line? I know this is like, I always see, this is what's fucked up and wrong with me. I think this is what's wrong. Like, this, along with a lot of other things, is that fucking question pops into my head so fucking often. It's like, what makes a good person, a bad person, past person? And a lot of us like to believe that we're a good person. And I sat there the other day, and I was sitting there, I was like thinking about all the things I've done, right?
I mean, the answer.
And I was like, fuck, I could easily be a bad person, but I also have done a lot of good things too. So it's like,
see, and it's
so I can't harp on those.
There is no, like, unbiased way to say this, but that's what makes you a good person. It's like, it's not the idea that you've done anything good or that you've done anything bad, because everyone's done good things and everyone's done bad things. It's the idea that you're willing to be accountable for those checks and balances. That whenever you are doing shitty and you are doing people wrong, that you're capable of looking at yourself as the person that's wrong in these situations. That you're capable of saying, this isn't who I want to be. That you're capable of saying, I need to change, not the world needs to change. That is obviously you can still do those things and go fucking murder a town of people. I get that there are exceptions to every rule. I'm with you. But my point is that if you are capable of seeing yourself in the light of which you truly are, then you are capable of being a good person. Now, there are plenty of people that are doing good things out there that are not capable of seeing themselves for the true identity that they hold and the true impact that they have on others. And that is kind of an indicator for what a bad person is, in my opinion, because I really don't care how much money you gave to the homeless and how many T-shirts you've been putting on people's backs. You're still probably fueling a fucking cobalt mine to a degree. And it's like there are a lot of that is a different line. You know what I mean? It's like there's these morality lines, and then there's these things that are convenience lines, where it's like, well, how can you call yourself a good person? Well, I mean, I give back to my community. I take care of my family. I make sure that everyone eats. I do exactly what I need to do. I'm at work on time. It's like, yeah, but like, like all of the things, your car, your food, all of these things are being fueled by slavery right now, right?
That's where that lie,
you know what I mean? It's like
that's kind of extreme examples, but yes.
I mean, to a degree,
yeah. Well,
it's not that extreme.
You're contributing. It's just like, yeah, I'm doing all these nice things, and then you buy from Shein,
right?
So it's like you're contributing to.
Correct. So it's like there's these like you can be the moral good person while also choosing convenience, and that makes you in turn a bad person to a degree.
Yeah.
So either one, you're a fucking farmer who does everything themselves and barters everything, gives back to the community, never touches a single fucking made in China garment.
It's a goal. It's a goal.
Or two, you're probably not able to say that you're a good person.
Fucking tough, bro. It's like one of those things, but like I was more so along the lines of something more like not as that's not extreme because it's a real thing, but also just like I think also just people who they're like, I'm a good person, right? Because they don't necessarily do bad things, but then also it's the same person who you could call and be like, hey, I really need you. Like, yeah, sorry, I can't. I'm kind of busy right now. I'm not really busy, like you know what I mean. But so it's like in that moment, that's kind of where I'm at. Is like those moments where it's like they are the people who are like, nah, I gotta like you ask them if they could do something, but like, I'm protecting my energy, I can't do that, or like, oh, I gotta be selfish because like I gotta think about me. Sometimes it's like, at what point is
there's degrees where it's like it's tough because it's like I guess context is very important in a lot of these examples. But realistically speaking, it's like if you want to come from the position of like, I guess religion for a lot of people, there's a lot of people that believe in the idea that like only God can judge type shit. Like, well, you judge your fucking self every day by telling yourself that you're a good person. Fuck told you that you could do that. I thought God was the one that had to do that. You motherfucker. Why are you cutting out the big man upstairs from this fucking his only job at this point? Now that he created the world, the only thing that he's really around for is to make sure that we don't fuck it up. So you're fucking it up and telling yourself that you're a good person whenever you believe that he's the only person that can let you in.
He's like, nah, actually I changed my mind. Kick rocks.
Fucking those quinoa bowls aren't gonna save you this time, bitch.
Nah, it's so I've been also reading the book by Rick Rubin. Fucking
creativity, art and creativity. What's it called?
There's like two different books. There's a couple books.
The Creative Act.
The Creative Act.
That's what it's called.
Yeah. And there's like a point where the very beginning of the book, but he's talking about basically our perception kind of like shapes our creativity in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like honestly having, like kind of stripping back those boundaries and what we perceive to be like the rules of things can actually in turn make you more creative. In general, like looking at life kind of, don't get me wrong, like rules are important to a degree. I mean, he was talking more in a creative sense.
I mean, rules are like guidelines to a degree. It's not, they're not, fuck, what's the word? law. I mean, law is the wrong word to use because I'm trying to use law in the idea of like how science uses law.
Yeah.
Like the only way a law can be a law has to be able to be reproduced. Like a theory is something that obviously you can think of, but it's not. It won't become a law until you can scientifically prove it multiple times.
And it's like the thing is with that statement, kind of like with meditation and stuff too. It's kind of stripping yourself from that, you know. And I think when you do that, in a way, you kind of find something, you know.
Yeah.
Whenever you don't like, you kind of block out the noise in a way of all this other shit that's going. Just kind of look at it for what it is, you know. Stripping back that facade, almost because life in itself, the way that we view it, is just all due to something that came before.
Right.
That we then created something due to whatever that case may be. A lot of it becomes outdated, and then we structure it. But once again, that's
ideal of the structure.
You know what I mean? And which was based off of whatever that was, you know? And I think when we kind of strip a lot of that back and we realize this is all just shit that's made up, then we can get something really pure just out of life, you know? I think I've been thinking about that a lot lately because with moving forward, like I said, with that period of time, I was just like thinking, like, man, where am I going from here? You know what I mean? Not necessarily where am I going from here as in, like, what am I going to do? Because I have things that, right? But, like, as a person, like, who I want to be and how to, like, forge that. You know what I mean? Like, like in terms of, like, with blacksmith or something, you know, like forging a great sword, right? What am I going to do from here to forge that, you know? And, like, how do I strip myself down to, like, the basis of that to then bloom into something more?
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about a lot lately. Has just been like how complicated we make life to a degree, like how simple life really is, and how simple things could be, but how far we've complicated things into places that we've created. And it's not even it's not existence; it's only our existence because it's our reality that we think is like that we're perceiving. You know what I mean? It's like the idea of fucking letters and language and all these things. It's like it's just a mode of communication. We're just trying to convey what's going on in here to what's going on in there. I don't know how to do that unless I create a fucking 26-letter alphabet or a fucking whatever, however many letters are in Mandarin. It's like all these different languages that are built off of the same idea. That's just I just want you to know what I'm thinking, or I want to be able to make you think what I'm thinking. If you're talking about like the control factor in certain situations, it's like there are so many simple ideas and tactics and modes of things that we have on this earth that have been complicated to the degree of which we don't even know how to communicate with each other anymore. We don't even know how to work together or collaborate or create together, because it is that idea of just like, so we've individualized ourselves so much and complicated things so much that it's not impossible, but it's almost impossible. You have to hit lightning in a bottle for you to be able to do anything, and that's insane.
I'd also say on a whole other end where it's just like we're trying to please or like try to tiptoe around what the thing actually is.
Right.
That we skew the idea of everything.
Yeah.
And things become worse than what.
And in turn, you take away the power from those things. It's like you kind of change the impact of what something can do to a person or a society by trying to fit it into a box that never existed in the first place.
Exactly. One of the points being was that there was this was from the book, right? So there was, I think it's Grandmaster, right? Or chess. Something like that, like the.
Are you talking about the like in chess, the Grandmaster?
Yeah. So like one of the best players, put it against the AI, right? AI did its best to learn, and like the point being was like, was the AI smarter? Because they played a move that like no one else would think to play ever, right? And the Grandmaster got like he stood up and like walked out of the room.
Magnus Carlsen.
What?
Magnus Carlsen, that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, basically, was just like, what the fuck, right? Like why did like thrown off, because it's like who would do that move? Like why would it do that move? What would be the necessary? No one has ever played that move. It almost seemed like a dumb move,
Mm.
but it threw him off because it wasn't a dumb move, you know, because it's AI at that point, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a move that could potentially have led to something, but he just didn't know how to counter it, right?
Mm-hmm.
'Cause it hasn't been done. So was it the fact that it was just that much smarter, or is it that it didn't have the preconceived idea of what the rules were? You know?
Right.
It didn't have the structure in which we view things. All it had were ideas and thoughts, and had to formulate it.
Mm.
Because it's a computer, you know what I mean?
Right.
It doesn't have like at this point doesn't have the idea of like construct and social construct and rules and shit. You know, it just to a degree it has the idea of like rules of how to play
Mm-hmm.
and like how to get from point A to point B, but it doesn't have like a structure in that.
Right.
So by then, is it be able to create something completely different because it doesn't have those prior?
But yes, but wouldn't the
Like Pablo Picasso, right?
wouldn't the adverse argument be that we created all the other moves? That we had a preconceived notion, so we created those moves, and that it didn't have those things. And I'm with you, but like on the flip side of that exact same coin, it also goes to show like what our level of perception has been able to apply towards that game or in other scenarios. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like without our preconceived notions, you're able to exist outside of those things, but that is to also say that we have created so many things based on our preconceived notions, which is crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A point is there's always something that came before,
Right.
and that was based off of whatever that was in that.
Yeah.
How we view things around that.
Jesus Christ, am I right?
Oh, like just like as a moment in time.
As a person in history.
And that we base what we base around all
on
that.
other religions that came before it, and those were based on other religions that came before it. All had their own fucking Noah's Ark and fucking
a different tale, a different moment,
but
different notion
around the same like storyline type.
But we
of
all
thing.
think we're right.
Different characters,
right?
Same story type of thing. I mean, it's not that we all think we're right. I think what it is nobody is willing to admit that they might be wrong, and that their parents might have been wrong, and that the people that first started civilization might have been wrong, that everybody might have been wrong, that all of this might be fucking built on a lie, or at least a misunderstanding at the very least.
I mean, that's how possible is that, you know?
I mean, incredibly. To a degree, if you can get everyone to believe in some guy in the sky, then you might be able to get people to do things that they never were capable of doing before. That doesn't mean the guy in the sky is real, or that anybody's actually believing in anything that is going towards something. It just means that you were able to kind of utilize a construct to get people to do something, which people do all the time.
I think in a way that it's kind of a beautiful thing, because it's just like life has so much potential. You look at it like that.
It does.
Right? And it's just like.
But that's the thing is that like
even
it's
how
life driven by hope, and life without hope might not be
dark.
driven.
Be dark, yeah.
It definitely would be dark, but it might not be driven. So that's the thing is like that kind of. I mean, I'm not trying to tell people.
But there's
that
different
their
reasons that
religions
drive
are
different people for different things, you know.
correct.
Hope for a better, your hope for a better life, hope for something different, hope for travel in space, whatever.
The problem with the religion one is that it has a little bit more power than any of those other ones, because you get to have the conversation, or at least the question, if you're somebody that thinks about these things with yourself, of like, well, I'm not gonna sit here and say like I believe or anything, but I don't want to fucking go to hell. You know what I mean?
It's like, is my only two options?
I'm not trying to sit in that room every Sunday, but like I would if I knew what the adverse actions would be, type shit. So I don't know. I think what I'm saying is like that question of like, well, fuck, if I fuck up, am I gonna have to see somebody at the end of all this and have to answer for all this shit? You know what I mean? It's like that question shouldn't exist.
Yeah,
but it does.
And where I'm at is, doesn't it all kind of defeat the purpose of what the religion what drives religion? Where it's like, if you're a good person, you go to heaven, but it's like, you knowing that you're doing it because of the religion, doesn't that kind of counteract some of the things that you do because you're not doing it because you solely want to do that. So it's like,
okay, I was gonna place this disclaimer earlier. I'll place it now because I'm gonna keep going. I'm not trying to break down anybody's beliefs or to make fun of anybody's beliefs or do anything towards anybody's belief. You can just call me stupid and that I'm uneducated on the shit. I'm very comfortable with that. But there are very clear states in fucking Catholicism that you don't have to be a good person to get into heaven. You just have to be you just have to ask for forgiveness. You can be a murderer and on your deathbed ask for a priest to come down and you can absolve yourself of your sins on your deathbed as a piece of shit and still get into heaven according to the commandments. Well, not the commandments. I forgot which ones those are. It's like the steps to get into heaven type shit. There's like the baptism, your confessions, and fucking
I don't
confirmation.
practice.
I know what I'm saying is somebody that's listening to this will attach themselves to what I'm saying. They're not commandments. It's like these I forgot what they're called. It's like these different steps. Marriage is one of them.
I know there's the Psalms. There's
anointed of the sick is the one I'm talking about. And it's not just like when you sick, like you die in a COVID
like
or
mentally or whatever the case may be.
You could be just sick in the head. You like cutting people up and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
like, you know what I mean? Like it's so malleable to the idea that like you don't have to be a good person to get into heaven. You just have to be able to at the end of everything say, all right, well, I am kind of afraid of God. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I don't want him to send me to hell. So like, get Father John down here.
What I was gonna say is that the beautiful part of it, not that necessarily, is like that. If you don't believe to that structure of stuff and kind of release yourself from, don't get me wrong. If you believe in that, by all means, having something to believe in, I think is very
There's
fundamental.
nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong with it. But just the idea that like there is no like prior structure, right? We've created most of it. And a beautiful thing because it's just like a lot of that can skew your perception of things. And like life is art, you know, and if you look at it in that sense, I think the idea of art kind of has gotten skewed in idea because people are like, this is what art is. But it's like art is just an expression of life.
Right.
How we choose to express it. There's different mediums, there's different forms, right? There's painting. At this point, there's podcasting. People that give speeches. There's fucking you can
writing,
poems.
I mean, there isn't really
digital
like
art.
There isn't really like a limit to the mediums of art. I mean, and art can simply just be the fucking handmade fucking birthday card you made for your grandmother. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly. So it's just there's like, and I think that idea has even gotten skewed, and it's so crazy now because people like can make livings off of being able to do that, right?
Yeah.
But then I've always said it's like there's a point where it kind of loses some of that, right? When the main focus becomes making money, because it's hard. I mean, we put a lot into this. It's like at a point, art becomes a business.
Yeah.
You have to brand yourself. You have to make yourself like you got to have a certain image. You got to fucking do things a certain way, market yourself, right?
I mean, see, like in a natural state, you shouldn't have to. Like that's all just the idea that you have to make a business. You know, it's bringing like commerce into art, which taints art in itself, is what you're saying. But like to a degree, it's not necessary. It's only made necessary by the world that we live in, by the it's hard to just say capitalism all the time, but by the capitalistic world that we exist in, as well as the fucking physical world that we exist in, people don't know how to separate themselves from their money. Whenever your money is directly tied to how hard you work in a week and how much you eat and how much you sleep and how much you get to experience dinners out with your loved ones and vacations, all of these things are tied to money. So how can you do art without tying it to money?
Art.
It's almost like a given. You have to, but you don't have to. Just the same way that money shouldn't be attached to how much you're eating. It shouldn't be. It's not like the natural way of life is that fucking there's food on the fucking planet that we can cultivate and that's work. Like work and food, I get that being correlated because you got to work to get the food and then you get to eat the food to make up for the work, and that also energizes you to get back to work and make more food.
There should be a certain correlation for sure, yeah.
I don't think that there should be a correlation with money because money theoretically should be this thing that we use as a level of commerce. But why is commerce being brought into art whenever art is just an expression of life?
It's just like the thing. It's like, for instance, like I did Homie Fest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great night. I loved it. You know, putting together, having to see the fruit of your labor come together, seeing all your homies on form, having a great night. You know, people loving it, and then after people be like, "But did you make money off of it?" It's like, fuck you.
Right.
I just had a great night. I don't give a fuck. Shut up.
Right. And
Why does that matter?
It's also like it's also the weird thing that it's like it's kind of, you're almost seen as somebody, if you're not materialistic, then you're seen as somebody that wastes their money because you have nothing to show. You have nothing to show for it. You know what I mean? It's like, well, the experience that I had while I was there doing the thing that I enjoyed doing, even if I didn't make any money, you're saying I have nothing to show for it? Yeah, no, I can't fucking show it to you. But now you're trying to diminish the actual experience that I had by saying what I didn't get what you wanted me to get out of it. You know what I mean? Like, that makes no sense to me. It's like the idea that you have to exist in other people's like expectations is so crazy. It's like whenever you're excited about something, and it's so weird whenever you're clearly excited about something and people still like try to fucking find the dig, try to find the issue, find the problem. It's like you just like, I can't believe I just got into Harvard. It's like, well, how are you gonna pay for that? It's like, I wasn't thinking about that. I was really excited about getting in right now, and I was gonna worry about that at some other point. You know, maybe apply for some scholarships and some grants, or maybe I'll have to take out some loans. I was really just excited about being able to get this education. Is that okay? Did you need to find a way to tear me down here? That happens across all different types of life, where you're excited about something and the first thing somebody thinks about is how they would think about it. It's not, oh my God, I'm so excited for you. Oh my God, like, wow, this is an incredible opportunity. Like, how are you feeling right now? Like, what would you like? It's none of that. It's always on some like, well, what are you gonna do about this? Or how are you gonna, how are you thinking about this? Like, I'm not, motherfucker. I'm just excited right now. What do we get? Can we fucking connect here?
100%. Shit. We can wrap it up right now. I gotta use the restroom. I gotta go. About an hour and a half?
Yeah, we're about an hour and a half.
Fuck yeah, solid. It was honestly, I feel like we went through a lot. It was a good episode. It was good to be, just doing the two of us, talking about some real life shit.
Just the two of us.
Sorry if we sound like we were just rambling and you're like, oh, those motherfuckers are high. Not, by the way, but.
Actually, I'm not either.
So, there we go. Exactly. Real life shit, some shit to think about. Enjoy your life, have fun, just to have fun, do things you fucking care about.
Break the system, break the mold. This all this shit is just made up so you can make up some of your own shit too.
Yeah. Fucking live life, love life, do your fucking thing. Until next week, you motherfuckers.
All right, peace out.